I forgot that microphones need volume. It's the Golden Radio. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we are live on Adobe Radio.
Yeah.
We are.
We're live.
We are.
Yes, we're live.
And we're so happy to be here. We are. We're happy every week that we're live. We're live most weeks. When we're not live, it makes us sad.
It does. I mean,
sometimes it has to happen, though.
Mondays, you know, if Monday could be Monday Fun Day, it would be because of the Cool Nerd Weed Show. Monday is a fun day.
It's true. I've always loved Monday. Well, I've loved Mondays for a long time because I used to do like overnight radio and I worked weekends on the radio. So Monday was like my Saturday. And I also did improv comedy. America's favorite sort of comedy. Monday nights, that was when my house team performed. So I loved Mondays. I've loved Mondays for like a while. I never had the Sunday scaries. Well, I did when I worked regular jobs, but when I had all my favorite jobs, Mondays always made me happy. And they still do, because we do the Cool Nerd.
And it's Monday night, so your Monday's over. So you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can enjoy it.
That's true. You can relax, smoke your weed of choice if that's what you do. What are we smoking today? Well, TS has a job. Oh, that's what we're going to talk about. Well, actually, we're going to talk about your job. TS has a job.
This is a true story.
And we, because of that, I guess, for whatever reason, we tend to smoke a lot of weed. Well, we smoke a lot of weed anyway.
We do anyway. We're going to do this. We're going to smoke regardless. But I don't know. This came across my desk, and it's 420 Kingdom. And it's special because it's grown aeroponically.
I've never heard of 420 Kingdom.
Either have I. To be for full disclosure.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I had never heard of the 420 Kingdom before at all. But I think you need to know about this. I think everybody needs to know about them.
Kingdom. Yeah.
They're aeroponically grown.
What does that mean?
Which it's interesting because it actually they don't grow in a grow medium.
Okay.
All of the roots are exposed and sprayed, misted with like the perfect amount of nutrients and water, like all the time.
Like by a machine or by a person?
It's very much. It has to be automated. This is like the super scientific way of growing cannabis right now. It's like aeroponics. The
Is it expensive?
I think to actually set it up might be expensive, but I think in the long run, it grows fast. That's one thing. Like the plants are getting all of the nutrients directly to the roots. And they're sprayed on there.
Wait, what do you mean the roots are exposed?
When you see like a cutting of cannabis plant,
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
You've seen clones, and they're like busting. The roots are like busting out of the little medium.
Yeah,
it's like that through its entire life cycle.
Oh, okay.
But in like large buckets.
Okay.
And then the roots are like
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that.
They're like,
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yes, and it grows fast. It's super scientific. I think this is how they grow cannabis on the space shuttle, or in the
Do they grow cannabis
in the International Space Station? If they were to grow cannabis in space, this is how they would do it.
Yeah, this is like
it's like mad science.
Mad science.
And I think the finished product is quite fucking delicious.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is. I guess like, why isn't it grown like this like all the time everywhere?
I think because
why do some people want to be like, no, let's do it this way? Why doesn't everybody?
I think because it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
That's what I mean.
But it's very scientific, and a lot could go wrong.
I will say, a lot of people do try to cut corners when it comes to growing weed. I was trying to think of a clever word for weed, but a lot of people do. A lot of new growers or innovative growers try to not reinvent the wheel, but just cut, like grow quickly so that they can have mad volume, and also pass regulation tests without PGRs and stuff. So like people do try to do things that will make them the most monies. So I think weed does prove over and over and over again that there is no quick.
No, there's
no like diet, like magic bullet to like.
No, for sure.
You know, so even something like this, I guess, is still, you know, it's not easy. Like even though it yields like a really nice.
It's clean
result.
and it's delicious and.
Yeah. Like even though it like, oh yeah, I want to see that too.
Yeah, it's sparkly. But
it's still really difficult to do. Right.
I think it's more challenging. I think a lot more can go wrong. I mean, if your plant is in soil or rock wool, it's going to have moisture for a while. But if something goes wrong with your misting, your aeroponic system,
well, then the whole thing
is gone.
Mm.
You don't have that margin of error.
Mm-hmm.
Like it needs to be constantly. This system, I'm sure, is monitored like 24/7. And it's super scientific.
I would hope so.
I would think so. I don't know. The product is
really good.
Shit's fire. And that marshmallow OG, man, it reminds me of the s'mores.
What did we just smoke that had s'mores?
It was that Canagar, the little mini blunt.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really good.
Yeah. Which I was like, I hadn't seen s'mores for a long time, and then I'm like, let's check out this marshmallow OG. I'm like, there's some s'mores there down the line. There has to be marshmallow s'mores. Come on.
But then we do that sometimes.
We do.
We're like, the name has to be
the name,
and then it's like,
it's like
not
completely not what we think it is. But the flavor profile was very similar.
No, I would agree.
But you're right. Like it's never exactly what we think. They'll like throw like a cross in there.
We've done that. Really? We're just like, oh, that must be that.
It's got to be this and this, and we're completely wrong.
Damn. Well, okay. But this is really good. This is nice. I like this. Aeroponically grown. The future of fucking the world.
Yeah.
The stronger the roots, the greater the impact. Yeah, I guess that is risky. But good job. I mean, it's really great. And this is what California does. We figure out new good ways to grow weed with integrity.
Absolutely.
I think California does their best to not... Oh, that's my dog.
Integrity is
Rudy
important.
Rudy agrees.
Rudy and Larson agree.
They know. They know. They took their CBD today. Okay, so you work again.
Yes, I do.
I might have to yell at my dogs.
That's 9 out of 10 Rudy and Larson's agree.
Okay, I think they're yes, you work again. You're working again.
Yes,
and,
I am.
It's interesting. In the dispensary industry, in the shop industry, like we get so many types of people. It never ever ceased to amaze me.
Never.
Always. And I remember bringing like my mom, she couldn't come in at the time because we were still Prop D, but she was in the lobby, and just saw like all the types of people coming and going, and you'll see that if your state is not adult use yet or medicinal in the way that is accessible, you'll see that start to happen the more acceptable dispensaries are. So like you'll see everybody from a famous person to an older person to a younger person to your typical stoner to me to you to TS to our bosses. In LA especially, there's a very cultural, and specific thing with weed is like, it was the thing that kept people out of trouble here in LA. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Like when Prop D was a thing, like the people who got into trouble stayed out of trouble because they got into legal weed. And I think that foundation says a lot about the culture here too. And all that said is that it does bring some interesting characters across our way. And, you know, you gotta know that at the end of the day, it's almost, you know, like it is customer service because there's a lot of people that we see, and that we have to like listen to in the best possible way.
Yes.
All the time, I was just always like, wow, like every single person was more fascinating to me than the next, you know, even the patients or the members that would come in that would be like not so fun. At the end of the day, I was just always like, you know, something brought you here. And like, it wasn't, you know,
it is.
People who go to dispensaries are like, and people who go all the time, it's certainly in California or Southern California, still very much a community. So even though they're all like, even though everybody's different, they all kind of have the same thread, which is weed. So that means you just get all sorts of characters that get to talk to you and that you get to talk to and that you get to listen to. And it's colorful in like a very, very great way, I think. It
is beautiful and it is fascinating. And you're in the community and you're dealing with the local community. You're part of it, and it's it's very colorful.
You're part of the experience.
It's entertaining. It has provided endless hours of entertainment to us.
Yeah, and like, you know, just I did always take like no matter what I tried, and it does get to be, you know, and nowadays it is too. Like I think we talked about this a few weeks ago. Like the clientele is also changing too, right? Oh, yeah. Like because it's adult use.
Everybody's educated. They're very well knowledgeable. People know what they want.
They know what they've read. They know what they've heard, or maybe that's wrong. Like
whether it's
right.
whether it's wrong or right.
Yeah.
They're educated somehow, and they know about born-on dates and harvest dates, and they know about certain cannabinoids, and they've read about certain cannabinoids.
Well, that's, you know, that the sorts of things that you, dear listener, probably, I mean, listen, if you're listening to the Cool Nerd Weed Show, you're probably a bit of a nerd about weed. Or you're like genuinely curious, and we are accessible, which is why I like us. But if you are a casual, if you have casual interest in weed and you watch the news, there's like certain topics that come up over and over and over again. So like cannabinoids are definitely one of them, you know. I think there's some confusion about what they are and what they do. I think there's maybe some accuracy about all the things that are weed. You know, we used to have people come in and try our bombs, you know, our like pain bombs, our CBD bombs, and be like, oh, you know, I feel contact, or I feel high, or I got the munchies, and we're like, you don't.
Really?
Like,
no.
Like literally, it's impossible.
Psychosomatic.
So, yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. So like sometimes it's like accurate, sometimes it's like, all right, you just heard something on the television, like the Halloween thing. Like we were gonna say, like the Halloween thing. People keep thinking that you're going to get weed edibles in your kid's Halloween bag.
Accidentally or on purpose.
And I can't stress it enough. Like nobody is going to on purpose give away weed. Accidental, I guess.
I am not handing out $25 bags of edibles to the local children. That is crazy.
No.
That is sensational, and that is demonizing
weed
cannabis
for no reason. And if you don't know, you know, if you don't know how precious our edibles are, especially on Halloween, you watch the news or you see whatever goes around and you think, oh, that happens. It does not. But we're here to tell you that what you hear in dispensaries is sometimes what you think you're going to hear in dispensaries.
And sort of hilarious.
Okay, so what's your... Okay, so we're going to do... We may do this again, we may not, but we're going to do like an overheard dispensary. It's a working title.
Yes. Overheard dispensaries.
L.A.
L.A. Overheard dispensaries, L.A. And, okay, here's number one. Overheard in the dispensary. I can't do too much myrcene. It fucks me up.
Just myrcene?
Just myrcene?
Does this dispensary that this was overheard in sell like the concentrated myrcene?
No. We do not. They do not. Excuse me. They do not. They do not just sell specifically myrcene products.
Now, I have to tell you that is a thing. You know,
it is, and myrcene is found in I'm gonna say 100% of cannabis flower in one way or another. In one form of another.
Yeah. And we did a whole plant-based, right?
We did a whole plant-based.
Stay tuned.
We paired all the various terpenes with foods.
Mm-hmm. Myrcene was one of them.
So, one that's, let me just point out a few strains that are high in myrcene. Granddaddy Purple, OG Kush, Cherry Pie. They even say it's in Blue Dream. It runs the whole spectrum.
Yes.
Of
it's
cannabis.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's in all your cannabis plants in various trace amounts.
And if you take that concentrated stuff, I don't know what they use to extract those things. So
yeah,
let's just like say that. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't enhance or fuck you up. Again, psychosomatic is a thing. Also, like, if your body's not used to taking a concentrated terpene, it might just be like, whoa, what is this thing? So if you smoke weed and you drink a shot of concentrated myrcene, if you eat a bunch of mangoes, that we learned in our talk with Canacam that's actually not a thing. So listen to that chemical cannabis episode because it was very informing. But those concentrated shots are a thing. And I think people think, it's like 5-hour energy, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you take it and it's like you think it's doing a thing, and like I'm telling you, it's not. So it may interact with cannabis a little bit. You may have that. Your receptors are like lit up and shit. But getting fucked up on too much myrcene, I don't know. We'll have to have Canacam back on because
for sure.
Wait, is it Canacam?
What?
Or was it Cannabicam?
Riley?
Riley D.
Riley D.
Cannabicam.
I had her spell it because I'm
we did.
challenged.
We needed it. Yeah. No, she's the fucking
Riley
best.
D.
I still follow TikTok as being a major dick about everything. So,
but yeah, we could have her come on and
tell the members that
of
getting fucked up on too much myrcene is
myrcene is prevalent in at least 20% of cannabis profiles. And
so did somebody say anything to that person?
Sometimes when people say those kind of ridiculous things, you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe let's try to find you something that's lower in myrcene. And not all of the packaging has the very intricate cannabinoid terpene profiles on them.
Right.
But I don't know. It's,
okay. Well,
it's out there. It's out there, and this is how could they possibly even know? How could you possibly even tell?
Because of those shots.
Oh, like the very specific terpene shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I just remember seeing that on TikTok. Is that like,
where do we get these? We're gonna need more.
Look it up. You'll like, it's a thing. It's like would
you have to take like a huge amount of myrcene to actually?
But who knows what that is?
It was
you know what I mean?
Like eating the mangoes.
Well, Riley said that
when
was
Riley
like
said,
not
Riley
really,
said you'd have to eat like a crate of mangoes.
But it also like it interacts, so it's like eating like like aphrodisiac shit. Like it doesn't make you like ejaculate, but it like it gets you in the mood. It gets you in the mood. It gives some like brain stimulators, you know what I mean? But it's not gonna like actually get the deed done. But I think mangoes are the same. Like it enhances it, but it's not literally gonna be. You're not gonna eat a mango and be like, oh shit, oh my god. But like it'll enhance a little bit, whatever, if you're susceptible to that sort of thing. The shots, I don't know because I don't know. I think, can I have your lighter? I think that's stupid anyway. But it was going around TikTok for a minute that like myrcene shots would make you feel the effects that myrcene in the terpene that occurs in weed would make you feel, which I don't think is accurate. Is that the only one you have?
Oh, I have more.
Do one more.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I like pre-rolls that are flat and not twisted. In my opinion, twisted pre-rolls are a waste of money because they don't burn right.
What? Wait, pre-rolls that are flat like the tip?
Yeah.
Not like flat and pre-rolls that you get in like your shoe. And
I mean, this person was confused as fuck when
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So what do you just of that particular statement? What do you make of that statement?
If somebody had come in and said that to me as a bud tender,
yeah.
First of all, I would have asked the question that I just asked because pre-rolls that are flat, I don't know what that means. I think when you told me the story, I was like, you mean like somebody had like stepped on them and they were like, you know, like got stuck on the bottom of your purse flat? Like, I don't know what flat means. And then you would have to clarify the tip of it.
Yeah. Yes.
And then I would understand that you meant you didn't want the kind of pre-rolls that were twisted at the tip, but
you know, some come old school, sort of twisted, and then most come twisted.
Nowadays,
and then
sometimes you'll get the flat top ones,
flat,
and some like fancy people
in.
can do like people who can roll good joints can do like a flat rolled joint. You don't need to take the lighter; you can take the joint. Well, I think this person might not understand how joints work. I think like when you old school roll a joint with your fingers, there is some twisting going on, and
always.
Sometimes that is
100%
hard. If you're not good at rolling joints, like myself, you may not get the most out of your joint because you're burning weed, and it's hard to, if you're smoking a poorly rolled joint, it's a bummer. So I would try to tell him that I understand his pain because I don't roll good joints. However, the joints of today, are not rolled like that. They are rolled in a machine, a big machine that is pre-rolled with a cone that involves no twisting process other than sealing it so that the weed doesn't get out.
It's the sealing process.
Yes, it's just to close it so that there's no weed getting out or getting yucky. So if you wanted to take the tip off, and in modern day joints, they're very small too.
Which brings us to our main point of it all. He said you could take the tip off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like that's key right there. And
you don't have to like smoke the tip of it. You just break it off.
You could break it off
when you roll joints
all the time. I like bite it off or chop it off somehow.
And then it's flat. Oh, look at that. Oh my god.
Oh my god. And then it's flat. And then you need to be able to light it correctly. Which was where it was all going.
Yes. So you mean like, what do you mean?
I meant that
like light a joint.
Just able to, which comes to like part 2 of the educational process of that you need to be able to.
How are you lighting?
How are you lighting this joint?
Yeah. Why are your rolled joints? Why
are you unsatisfied with a twisted joint? So it comes down to being able to light it correctly.
Right.
Which you can burn off or bite that tip off or cut it off somehow, but then you need to light it and make sure that it burns evenly. You can't just like put a lighter to it and start sucking on the end. No,
it's not like a cigarette. It has to be.
Well, yeah, that's where people get confused all the time.
Yeah, it has to be. Weed does need to be at least fully combusted on the surface.
You need to finesse it a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. And I've had unsatisfactory pre-rolled joints.
For
pre-rolls
sure.
are not, the fucking best the weed world has to offer. TBH.
No.
Like it's not. Like I don't recommend pre-rolls for the quickness, you know what I mean? Like, and the convenience, sure, go for it. But if you want the full good weed experience, get yourself some flour, fucking cut it up with scissors if you don't have a grinder, and roll it up yourself. Or put it in a pipe, dude.
Put
if you
it
don't
in a
like
cone.
smoke, and listen, I can,
your own cones.
I can dig it. Just try to understand what modern day joints are. It's not somebody rolling them, you know, like it used to be. And if you don't think, if you understand that, if you understand it's a pre-rolled cone that involves no twisting whatsoever, all it is the sealing process, then yeah, you have to know, because sometimes you'll light it and then you'll light the end of it and it's that big cherry.
Yeah.
That's what I think he was talking about. Because I've done that, you know,
and
just in the fucking haste of trying to get your shit. Like, you're like... It
starts canoeing.
Yeah, and it starts canoeing, and you have that big cherry at the end, and you flick it, and the whole thing is fucking gone, and it's like a 0.3 gram of weed that you just wasted. I get it. I get it, friend.
You've only inhaled paper, and then your whole experience is ruined.
Listen, I get the cherry experience. You just have to know. And if that happens, you know, fucking stoner hack... You could save it. I mean, how many times have we cherried and just saved the joint?
Saved it, yeah.
If you like, just put the joint down on the cherry, make it fuse back into itself because it's literally on fire, and then suck on it, and your weed is still lit. Like,
it's still lit. Yeah.
So there are many ways to salvage a joint, and I don't think the way it was sealed makes any diff.
No,
right?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
you just need to like be able to finesse your pre-roll, and you might need to.
Yeah,
it comes down to education.
And it's like, if you have to think of a pre-roll like pre-packaged anything, you know, like it's
a pre-packaged sandwich. You
right.
might need to put some mustard on it.
Exactly, it might not be, you know, dressed the way you want it, exactly like that. Anything that's like, and you know, we used to be able to control the level of what happens at a pre-roll, but dispensaries cannot. So asking for a specific type of joint is, if I may say, fucking obnoxious.
You may say.
I don't work for that place, so if I guess now I'll never be hired. But yeah, I'm just kidding. It's not. You can say whatever you want. Customer's always right.
For legal purposes, this is
for legal purposes, this is a joke. It does not reflect TS's opinion of anything. This was Sasha's opinion only.
All of the opinions are my own. And,
it does not reflect Adobe or TS. Whatever comes out of my mouth, I take liability for.
It's true. I
would have said that.
I would agree with you 100%.
Honestly, if I were still working at any dispensary that I've worked at, I would say the same thing. We do our best in trying to be patient.
We do.
But when we get blamed for things that are like, so, like, really? How fucking nice is it to complain about the way your joint is rolled? Remember the days where people got arrested for weed?
Oh yeah.
You know how there are people with weed on their fucking like record and they can't get right jobs now. So yeah, let's complain about the tips of our joints.
You have the audacity.
The fucking audacity
to complain about how your pre-rolled joint was rolled.
Yeah.
Fucking privilege. His privilege is right.
You're like the fucking privilege where we can't even you can't even have fucking rolling papers on you 5 years ago without getting in very big trouble. So you're lucky that you get to complain about the way your joint is rolled. And with that, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
settled sun. Ooh, I'm an alien. Ooh, from the great beyond. Came so far just to be so gone. Now I kinda feel like I'm an alien. Ooh, I'm an alien. Ooh, from the great beyond. I came so far just to be so gone. Now I kinda feel like I'm an alien. Now I kinda feel like I'm an alien.
It's the Cool Nerd Weed Show with TS and Sasha. Don't panic. It's organic.
Yeah, it's true. No more true than ever. It's a Cool Nerd Weed Show. That's TS.
And that's Sasha.
And we're live on Adobe Radio. Thank you, Adobe, for having us on your airways. We fucking love you. Follow us on Twitter at Cool Nerd Weed and on all the socials, Cool Nerd Weed Show, every single place. If you were on Facebook or Instagram today, you were SOL. Couldn't find our fucking gold content, aka the one post I do a week. We were trying to do better though. We were trying to go live.
We were doing lots of things.
You know, the Instagram, Facebook, they be fucking up. I don't know what the future of that looks like. As cannabis content creators, we don't give a fuck because all they do is make us feel like butt cracks. So
Yeah,
go fuck yourself,
Fuck you.
Instagram and Facebook. But if you decide to be cool with us, then, you know, give us money. But other than that, like, you do nothing but hide our posts and, you know, suppress our content.
Shadow ban us and all the other bullshit.
I don't feel bad at all. I felt nothing today. I was like, I watched more Dateline. Like, I was like, cool, I'll just go on TikTok a little more. TikTok and Twitter were like, we chillin', but don't, you know, anybody susceptible to this shit. It's a toxic place on the social media. And that's why I said on my show today, that I do in the mornings, this place is a safe space. Adobe Radio is reliable, and it's not going to be a place that you come to where we're not going to be awesome and truthful and accepting and like fucking, you know, on the right side of history, you know, unlike Facebook and Instagram that suppress honest and good people that for some reason are stigmatized and then promote hatred and then black out when content. WhatsApp is how people communicate with their families across the oceans. So in America, it's not that big of a deal, but in Italy, it was a very big deal that WhatsApp was down. In a lot of Asian countries, it was a big deal that WhatsApp was down. So get it fucking together, social media. We don't have time. And rant.
Yeah.
If you were here, if you were
What the fuck?
here, and if you were alive on October 1st and October 4th, and you're listening to this, we had a big social media outage today, and didn't really bother us. Well, you were working again. TS has a job.
I do. Finally.
Yeah, but you know, and people were like being like, it means that we need Facebook because we were all so.
Oh no, there's got to be an alternative to this whole thing.
I mean, technically, I guess it's really not.
You're right. You're right. We'll combine all of the apps into one free thinking place. It's called the Prodstar app. And it's completely uncensored, and you can do what you want.
We should incorporate Prodstar, honestly.
And
the nerds, and for realsies, like Adobe is a very like progressive and open-minded space, and all of our podcasts, like from top to bottom, are fucking quality.
Yeah.
And like it's a good place to come if you feel like the internet is a dark and shadowy place. We may be emo, but we're not. We're like full of love. So like,
PMA,
if you need a place to come and feel good, you could also get us on Alexa. Just say Alexa, launch Adobe Radio and all that shit, and you can get us at all times. And you can find us obviously where all podcasts are found at some point. But I encourage you to stay here on Adobe. That's where I like to stay. It's where I like to hang out.
Alexa, launch Adobe Radio.
I turned off all my Alexas here because I have to say that every day.
Because they're all on listening to us.
And she yells. And she always talks to me.
She'd be on right now.
And she would. She'd be like, "I'm sorry," and then or she would play Adobe, and it'd be like, "Wait, not right now.
We're already on
Adobe."
It's gonna be like a feedback.
It would be like us. Yeah, it would be like an Inception
loop.
Yeah, I wouldn't love that. We did make food beforehand. We didn't tape it because since TS works now, we have to catch up.
It was
We have to catch up as girlfriends.
off the record.
Yeah, and then we'll do show prep. But we've been doing show prep on the air or live on Instagram with cooking food.
But you whipped up some Impossible mac and cheese, which was
really
fucking delicious.
I'm eating it
for
now.
sure.
Yeah, it was.
I killed mine. Mine's gone. I'm going back for seconds when the show's over. I'll be like super savage. There'll be Impossible meat all over my beard.
I'm usually like that after the show. I eat like last week it was Chipotle. I just like threw down like 4 tacos. So yeah, we usually put that on tape because we like cooking for you and prepping with you, but we didn't. And I just wanted to let everybody know that we did cook.
There's more to come. Like we've got plant-based coming out soon.
Yeah. We like to cook.
And
We're 2 Italian stoners.
yeah, food is love.
Mm-hmm.
Cannabis is love.
It's
all love.
It is, and lately I have been consuming a lot of edibles and stuff to make myself hungry. I know I need to eat.
I think dinner should be like a celebration.
Oh, yeah.
A break time and a celebration of food and life and love and just like taking time out to nourish your body.
The cultures that do that are like cultures that have longevity and a lot of love. Like
for real,
it's important.
I was thinking about that the other day. Like being in like Spain or Italy and like people that take like siestas, they're like, they just like take a break during the day. They
nourish the body.
They like, nourish the body. Like everybody, we need to rest midday. So everybody just takes a break.
Mm-hmm. Things are just closed down.
And, you'll go on. Like life will go on 2 hours later after everybody takes a little break.
And then it's like it helps you work harder. And food is just like so celebrated, in other. It is in America too, but not like it's also like oddly stigmatized in America, and there's no more eating disorders per capita than in America. But in most other cultures, food is considered like, Italy, like from bottom to top, like eating is like a sign of like love and respect. There's no other.
I think we invented fast food in America. We really need to slow
eating on the go, like eating while you're
in your car, like on your way to your next mission.
In so many cultures, that's considered like a severe insult.
Yeah, for sure.
But in so many cultures, it's not. So many cultures, food is sustenance. Food is like fuel. But still, it's consumed. You know what I mean? Like even if it's not considered a sacred.
Well, it's a necessity of life. I think,
in a lot of like hardworking cultures, it's easy eating. What can I eat with my hands? So like that's not to say I don't think that like not everything has to be like because in Italy it's almost like overwhelming. You know what I mean? Like it's like
you're gonna sit down and have
insulting if you don't eat your full food, and that's how we are. Like we like we'll send people home. Yeah, like it's
fucking dolce.
It is so typical. Exactly.
All the things,
and you have to finish all of them. Like you have to, or else like they'll think you didn't.
You didn't like if you don't finish like one bit, it will come out and be like, like with like one tear in their eye.
Yeah, for realsies.
I'm like,
no.
and you're like, oh, just grab it. Like I'm so full.
Like I literally can't do this. Like I literally can't.
But I would eat it anyway.
Yeah, like that's why cannabis, like when it gives you the munchies, it's the best. Some weed doesn't. Some weed is almost stimulant, like. But most weed, especially when it's in an edible form for me, gives me the munchies. So plant-based and cooking is something like I want to do. I look forward to like tasting high food when you're high is like the best.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like there's no better first bite of food than when your munchies high. Because contrary to popular belief, you can taste it and it matters. So what were we fucking talking about?
Was it the at-home DNA test?
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the Insider has an article that. So is this okay?
That's interesting. I don't know.
Tell me about it.
So apparently, there's a new test that you can do at home with your DNA and it'll tell you
With your DNA.
with my DNA. Do I need to submit my DNA to somebody?
This sounds like another way to just like get your DNA.
Harvest
into
my
a bank.
DNA
Yeah.
somewhere, and like what kind of
I
things
did
am I
23
signing?
and me, so I'm already
You're already in the system,
I'm already in there.
so
They're
you might
cloning
as
me.
well give your DNA to the
Yeah, what am I losing?
which strain of weed is best for you and what kind will make you paranoid, which is some
Interesting.
very captivating headline.
So, because their theory is that your genetics affect how you respond to drugs.
I suppose, and
Sure.
Endocanna Health is offering a DNA test that claims to do just that for $199, almost $200. Its team of scientists have identified 57 genetic signatures that may influence someone's response to cannabis. Interesting.
Yeah, but like the end says like
Then there's some companies that will recommend certain doses or formulations of cannabis for a consumer's specific needs.
it also says like it considers terpenes too, which obviously it should. I don't know if this is.
You could actually.
Legit.
You said you did your 23andMe.
I did.
So you can just because
forward
23andMe
the-
still
forward the
has
results.
your results on file. You can just go ahead and link them up with Endo DNA test kits, and 23andMe will just send your filed DNA directly to the Endo Cannabis. So I don't know if you
I
signed
don't know
up
how
for
I feel
that.
about this, to be honest. I mean, listen, the 23andMe
Yeah,
thing was kind of
yeah,
cool. You know, if you know me in TS, you know how I am in terms of like people having my identity and conspiracy theories and all that jazz. Like whatever. You want to take my fucking saliva and clone me and like test me out for, I as long as I can live for today, you know. But it does not mean I do not believe things are being used for nefarious reasons. However, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like use my shit. I don't care. Now I know I'm fucking more Italian than I am German. Good to know. But
And they're making little tiny Sashas.
Little tiny Sashas. I'm pretty cool. So
They're-
I feel like the more meat is the better. But this, I feel like, is like a little bit too far for some reason. Like I'm just like, why would you need my DNA? And I get it. Genetics do affect how you ingest weed, but like, it's got to be a better way than me like submitting my fucking DNA to the world. I don't know. I feel a little weird about it.
They've got like all kinds of theories and alleged statistics here that 31% of the population may experience adverse reactions, and then there's also like
How many?
31% according to
31% of people experience adverse reactions to weed.
reactions. Yeah, according to the Endocanna
That's a lot of people.
Endocanna test. That's
Almost half the population
Well, it's 31%
of the people who were tested.
or who actually tested. Yeah, of anybody who gave their consent to be tested.
It's more than half.
And
It's more than
then-
a quarter of the people who they tested. So that's like I feel like that's a lot of people.
That's
they're saying.
a large percent of. I would say it's probably that is a large percent of the people that they've actually
More
tested.
than I thought.
And
What is adverse?
there's
What does
other-
adverse mean?
that's a good question.
They can't die.
Like adverse, like I'm freaking out, man. Like
Everybody
that,
feels
like
that when they
like
smoke
sort of anxious or
you
whatever.
feel
like,
that. I feel that.
Yeah,
We all feel
yeah.
that. 100% of people feel
It
that.
says while most people feel relaxed or giddy, approximately 31% of the general population has reported adverse effects.
So like some
whatever.
people,
They
we
don't-
do know some people who don't. I know a lot of people who are who have adverse effects.
Is
So
it-
maybe 31 is accurate.
Is it like adverse effect and then they chill out?
No, usually I think
Or is
it's
it
probably
like- it's
adverse,
like
and then
totally
it's like
adverse?
I mean, listen, for some reason, people in New York like cannot handle their weed a lot. They're smoking New York weed, and then they get a taste of that fucking Caliendo, and they're floored for life. So
it's
I
true. It's
understand. 31 is probably accurate. That just sounded high.
But these alleged scientists are identifying other specific genetic codes that may predict quote unquote bad trips, or other sorts of genes or variants that may
I guess
risk
if you
people to psychosis.
really want to like be safe or something. Well, psychosis, yeah. I mean, if you want to smoke weed and you're susceptible to psychosis, 100%. If there are things that you need to know, but I don't know. It just seems like wouldn't your doctor just be able to tell you that? Like, you're gonna give your spit to your doctor. Can't you just do it like that instead of like giving it to a third party fucking?
I hope so.
Site? If you really are worried about weed and you have medical, if you're using it, especially, you know, not correlation, like with another medicine, if you're prone to psychosis, if you're prone to seizures, if you're prone to anything that you're mixing weed with a medicine, yeah, you should be telling your doctor should know that. So I feel like if you're submitting your saliva to some like fucking
some random new
stealyourdna.org,
yeah, in conjunction with 23andMe, I don't know if our science is quite there. If we're quite there yet.
I don't know either. This is not Cool Nerd Weed Show approved.
No, it is not, for sure.
For me. I don't know about you.
No, I do not approve this message.
Yeah.
We need more story. We need more. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah. Don't spend your $200, please, on this. Go to your doctor.
Yes. Or
and ask your fucking doctor about something that you're putting inside of you instead of a fucking Silicon Valley company.
Or go to our Patreon and we'll do like
you're just like the worst. You're the
call.
worst of them. All right, we're going to break. We'll come back with the Huff and Puff. The worst.
Say what you want to say. Charms work for you and the same charms they don't work for me. You hear what you wanna hear. Felicio, keep your mouth shut. On the bright side, you'll be able to see everything we wanna see. Back to the start. We know this life chose to keep us apart. There's no chance to start again. There's every chance to start again, she said. And I don't believe that. No, Lost love, misconnection. You know, life drove us apart. So break through the direction. Back roads leading me straight to your heart. On the bright side, you'll be able to see everything we wanna see. Back to the start. We know this life chose to keep us apart. There's no chance to start again. There's every chance to start again, she said. And I don't believe that it's starting.
Hold on. I got it. It's going. It's going. I swear to God. Are you doing it?
yes.
The final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha.
No, that was funny. It's the final Huff and Puff with TS and Sasha. Oh man, when you listen to this back on another day, you'll be like, why didn't they fix that? This isn't live because I'm listening to it on Wednesday. It's because it's funny. And when I fuck up the intro for that, which is about 80% of the time, TS has to extra smoke.
That means I get that much more lit.
Yeah.
No complaints here.
Yeah, we've been doing that intro for like most of the year, and I fuck it up pretty much every time. But it's awesome every time. I get pleasure out of it. Okay, so today's Huff and Puff, so we're not actually mad. Ooh, this is really good. We're not. Well, okay. This
that was
is something.
a marshmallow OG.
Man, it's good.
It's tasty.
It's really tasty. It's very sweet. It's really good. So we see famous people go into weed like a lot. You know, it's something that seemed for a while that famous people would do as like a cash grab or just going with the trends. And you know, people who are famous people who just invest money and don't invest time into it or put the money to good causes get weeded out. Like, and I know that's a pun, but it's just the only thing I can think of. They get weeded out very quickly. So people who have like weed companies that don't really understand how weed works, they do not have weed companies anymore. You know, you know what I mean? If they just sell shitty mids that don't sell, their companies
Probably
just go
won't-
away.
won't
Like, does Bella
last-
Thorne's company even still exist?
Will last very long. I don't know.
Or
I
it'll
don't
get bought
think
out
so.
and white labeled. So like whatever it is.
She like probably did her run and then it was over.
And exactly, you do a run and then maybe you buy out whatever the fucking space was and then you make it something else. Our point is that Justin Bieber has a weed.
Yes.
Because he said in Peaches that he gets his weed in California.
He's got a collaboration with Palms pre-roll.
Don't we like Palms?
Don't
we know Palms?
We did. We know Palms. They
Yeah.
were going to they were
They
a
really
potential sponsor of the
They
show.
still have their like poster up on Melrose, or they're well. I don't know
They
if
do.
their
They
office
have
is
their,
still
they
there,
have their
but
office. We were. They came to our parties.
they did. They came to a couple Adobe parties.
And I don't know. They gave us lots of pre rolls back
They
in
were-
the
they were
day.
pretty cool.
They were cool, and you know they partnered up with Justin Bieber, and they've got apparently they're in multiple states.
Yeah,
They're
they're
in
Nevada
California,
too. I
Nevada,
didn't know that.
Massachusetts, and Florida.
And the cool, so like now there's a couple cool parts of this. Like,
Yes.
A of all, it's not like we don't know what this company is. You know, we know Palms. We know that they're pretty well sourced and stuff like that. Pre-rolls, we just should talk pre-rolls for the entire show. But we like, honestly, how many times am I like, pick me up a pack pre-rolls? Like, how many times do I... If I want a pre-roll, I want a good pre-roll. So
They came in a sexy package that was like a
Palms is great.
It
Yeah,
was like a Nat Sherman box.
trust me.
They
Like,
burn nice.
I love a pre-roll. I love a pre-roll.
You just
TS and I are
gotta-
just nerdy snobs.
You got to know how to light them. That's all I'm saying.
They come flat.
They do
The
come
palms
flat,
actually come flat. So
FYI.
if you want to sell to your picky, pompous customer, which is not everybody, but it is 1 in 100 come in saying that they want a flat top joint because the other joint's waste, you have the joint for them, and it is Palms. So that is a good thing. Oh, they're in Massachusetts too. That is a good thing that he's partnering with somebody who is accessible, somebody who knows what they're doing, and hopefully not pricing it. I think it's set a price, right? It's like 32, 7 joint packs for 32. So
yeah,
that's like a
that's
need.
totally reasonable.
Yeah, like, so that's totally reasonable. Palms is good. And this is like the best thing is that as of right now, he is including profits. And we talk about this organization quite a bit on this particular show, the Last Prisoner Projects and
Yes.
Veterans Walk and Talk. You can go back and listen to a number of our shows.
Very important.
We talk about this quite a bit in the dispensary biz. We see a shit ton, which I think is a scientific term, of veterans coming in to seek mental health and just sheer relaxation benefits from cannabis, and we take pride in being able to do that for veterans in a way that like no other industry has been able to do. So the fact that Justin Bieber is donating to the veterans cause in relation to cannabis is a big deal.
Huge.
Huge
Huge
because
deal.
we talk about this on a couple shows. We talked to Steve Elmore about how in the VA cannabis is still very much not a thing, and you can't reap the benefits, quote unquote benefits of the VA, which are, you know, a little bit thin to begin with, but you can't reap them if you are an active medicinal user of cannabis, which is a huge fucking problem. So
We've talked about the Last Prisoner Project a lot.
the Last Prisoner
but-
Project
but
goes
the-
towards destigmatizing and helping veterans get safe access to cannabis.
Absolutely. But the Veterans Walk and Talk
Yes.
advocates like outdoor activities and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
psychedelic therapy and cannabis among military veterans, which
It's-
is really like sort of outside of the box
Totally,
thinking for
it's
sure.
new age. It's new
very
age.
much.
What we do Jon Stewart has a new show. We have no minutes left. We have to leave. But Jon Stewart has a new show I don't even know what it's called. It's just another fucking show that talks about things that nobody talks about. So it's necessary. It's just like, well, where'd this come from? But his first show is on how veterans are fucked and how burn pits. Burn pits. I don't know if you know what they are, but they're fucking horrible.
Yes.
And check out the show because it's extremely informative, and it reminded me quite a bit about how we just wring our veterans dry. They come home and then we say like, fucking fend for yourself, and
Good luck.
you can't have weed.
Yeah.
So when weed makes it okay, weed is for PTSD. Weed is probably one of the number one forms of relief. It's not for everybody. I will not say it's for everybody, but most soldiers will tell you that they can, no matter where their politics lie, weed has saved their lives in a million different ways. So
100%.
this is huge that we're approaching medicine different for veterans. So our Huff and Puff today is actually not an actual sad Huff and Puff. It's a happy Huff and Puff. You thought we were going to just clown on Bieber for getting into weed, but nay, I think Bieber really does know his fucking weed. He's probably been smoking for a hot minute. He probably got that good when he was fucking 13. So I think he does know his weed. I think he does have a heart, and whoever told him to fucking do this with the veterans, was really smart, and I'm actually all for it. Now I want to buy his weed.
And Palms
We
and
love you,
Bieber.
Palms. Good job.
Good fucking work in the cannabis community.
Okay, now we do have to go. It is the Cool Nerd Weed Show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We fucking love you. Thank you, Adobe. Follow us on Twitter at Cool Nerd Weed, and whatever platform is still working, you can find us at Cool Nerd Weed Show. Everywhere else, we will be there for you. And
Don't panic.
it's organic.